To be a foster parent, you don't have to make $1 million.
I have worked for the Department of Family and Children's Services in the adoptions unit for 2 years now.
I have been a foster parent for 6 years.
3 years.
I've done this work for over 15 years, and I have seen the difference a great foster family makes for a child. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be parent of the year. You just have to have it in your heart and the time to spend nurturing and spending time with our wonderful children. And they truly are wonderful children.
You don't have to live in a mansion.
Adoptive and foster parents have a huge impact on a child's life. They can be the catalyst for an entirely new path that a child takes.
We're always looking for ways to help. And it wasn't until our oldest daughter talked to us about fostering, and then our church advocates for fostering as well. And we decided that we would come to the meeting and get the information and see, from that point, if this is something that, we wanted to do.
I saw ads for years. I saw ads for foster parents, adoptive parents, and I always wanted to do it. And I always had a reason why I didn't do it. So finally, I didn't have a reason why I couldn't do it. And I took the classes, and it's a big step, and I did it.
At the time, Lise was ready before I was. And when we came in and watched the orientation video, then, it was almost like confirmation. And then I was ready, so it's been a joy.
I called them, it was a number that you called, which was Department of Family and Children's Services, and they gave me all the information and details.
You don't have to be married.
Good foster parents and good adoptive parents are consistent. They are leaders. They are nurturing. They are teachers. They are consistent. And I think they're very understanding. You have to be able to meet a child where they are.
Taking the child in, knowing that they do have, everyone has a different problem, and accepting them as they are. I mean, they're just very unsure about what's going on, and to help them feel safe and secure.
And be willing to kind of delay the gratification of being a parent just for the sake of the child adjusting. And so that's why the patience and nurturing and even long suffering sometimes is essential to being a good adoptive or foster parent. It's not the same as being a biological parent.
We have fostered in 3 years 21 children. And I can honestly say every last one of them has left a footprint in my heart, and as well as my husband. And I can talk about numerous children. The ones that come to mind is 2 siblings that we had, and it was a baby. And such joy because he was sick. But through that, every morning I would go into his room and look at him in the crib. He flashed that smile. And regardless of what he was going through, there was still that smile. And that would melt my heart.
One of my foster children, one of the girls, is now in her 2nd year of college, and she's the first person in her family to go to college, so that's really exciting.
You can love them as much as you love your own biological children, but not being there throughout all the development from day one till today, it does change the aspect, and you have to be able to adjust and to go that extra mile to get to know a child that you're just now meeting.
During the time, the orientation or the classes, they tell you about, you take the children into your home and you love them as your own. So you think about, oh my God, but this child can also be leaving my home. So the greatest challenge has been to embrace that, to, in a sense, love them like they are my own, which is so easy to do, and then prepare myself mentally that they could be possibly going back. But we think about reunification, and in some instances it is good, and then there's sometimes it's not. But you have to prepare yourself either way.
I think when the kids come to your house, they're scared and they're nervous, they don't know what to expect, and it's just making them feel at ease. And I'm not sure what to expect sometimes because every child is different.
A lot of our kids come in with some emotional or behavioral issues that can either stem from them being removed from their home or just things being not understanding what's going on.
Each child is different when they come into your house, so it could be when they get scared they hide under the bed, or could be they're stealing food, and it's not that they didn't ask for food, they're just taking it. Like one child, he went into the refrigerator, which I didn't know till later. I opened up the cream cheese and there were big bite marks with teeth marks in it. I was like, who did this? But he really liked cream cheese, and every time he went past when I wasn't looking, he would eat it. And find wrappers under their bed and things like that. Every child is different. It's hard to pick one thing. I haven't had anything terribly serious. It's just, I guess, from the background that they came, and they have those little problems.
In my opinion, the things that make the children in foster care so successful are having a wonderful foster parent and having a wonderful case manager. And right now in Chatham County, we are in desperate need of wonderful foster parents.
Foster or adoptive parent can be the one to completely have them turn that around with a lot of love, and they essentially love kids out of their emotional or behavioral state, so they make a big impact on a child's life, and they can make all the difference.
I'm amazed at the strength that the children have. I call them the little people. And we're taught from children to grow up and be independent, productive, and do so many things, I guess, in the natural, or so many processes to mature. But I see a greater maturity in these little ones than I do adults I work with, as far as not dwelling on problems and just making the best of things. Every situation when you see them smile and play, you would think they got it all, everything's perfect for them, but it's not. Whereas adults complain over the smallest thing, and these children have major issues physically, emotionally, and yet they smile. So that strength is what reminds me. It's like instead of looking at adults like a mentor, people I admire this in a generation above me. These children that we've had, I see qualities and characteristics of these children that I say, wow, all adults should have this. The ability to forgive and love and just focus on the future. And they don't dwell on past experiences, let them hold them back. So it's encouraging.
And so the greatest challenge has been having the children come and they walk into your heart and then they leave. So the challenge is to try and still go on. And that's what we've been able to do after time. And does it get easy? No, it doesn't. But that has been the greatest challenge for me, is to have them come in, and then when it's time for them to go, it's hard.
Encouraging myself that when I've done all I can, be encouraged that it's good enough, because the children that have emotional problems and physically, and you do all you can in, as far as information and your time and resources, and there's times when I think it's not good enough, and I'm reminded many times it is. I have to constantly remind myself of that. Kind of in addition to that is staying within the boundaries of the boundaries of raising a child and not spoiling them, because many times people say those kids you have are spoiled, and my response is they deserve it. I don't mean that in the sense of crossing boundaries, but they deserve so much.
All you need is to provide a loving, nurturing, caring home for a child.
The most rewarding thing about placing children is that day of finalization, and you see how excited the kids are to go to their new family, to officially be a member, to move. That entire process is so rewarding, and it means the world to them.
Have a heart, give a child a fresh start.
Some of our children get to go back home, and that day is just as exciting as the day an adoption is finalized. Just being able to go home and know that you're safe and you have that stability is everything.
We truly need the families in Chatham County to step forward and to say yes to being a foster parent for one or many of our wonderful children. So it's my hope that people will do so, and in doing that, we'll really have a stronger community, because we'll be able to bring the almost 100 children that are not in our county and are in foster placements in places far away back to Chatham County, where they can enjoy their lives and do what they're supposed to do, which is just enjoy being a child. So thank you so much.
If you're interested in foster care or adoption, please contact Chatham County DFCS at 912-651-KIDS. The number again is 912-651-5437. Thank you for your interest in foster care and adoption.